With the record-breaking Icon of the Seas having its maiden voyage next week, it is time to look back at the other ships to hold the title of world's largest. Here is a list of the largest cruise ships since 1962. Making its first voyage on the 3rd of February 1962 is the SS France, later known as the SS Norway in 1980. It was classified as an ocean liner but served as a cruise ship. It originally had 66,348 gross registered tons, but was later amplified to 70,202, and then again, which we'll see later on down the list. Sovereign of the Seas was the largest when it debuted on January 16, 1988, at 73,192 gross tons. In 2008, it was relegated to Royal Caribbean Group subsidiary Pullmantur Cruises, and then scrapped in 2020. The SS France made a comeback as world's largest passenger ship, this time under the name of the SS Norway for Norwegian Cruise Lines after 2 additional decks were finished being added on October 10, 1990, which brought the total up to 74,200 gross tons. It is the only ship on this list to regain the title after losing it. In 2003, one of its boilers exploded, and the next year it was announced that the ship was done. Scrapping was mostly complete by the end of 2008. The Sun Princess made its maiden voyage on the 2nd of December 1995. It is the oldest ship on this list still in service, although it is for a different organization. It made its debut for Princess but was sold to Peace Boat in 2020. The Carnival Destiny first sailed with paying passengers on the 24th of November 1996. After a refurbishment in 2013, it was renamed to the Carnival Sunshine. Originally coming in at 101,353 gross tons, it was the first cruise ship to break the 100,000 mark. It still sails for Carnival to this day. The Grand Princess brought the title back to Princess Cruises when it entered service on the 27th of May 1998 at 109,000 gross tons. An interesting feature it had was a nightclub in the stern, which was removed in 2011. Royal Caribbean reclaimed the title with Voyager of the Seas servicing passengers on November 21, 1999. Today, it is tied for 60th among the largest cruise ships and was built at 137,276 gross tons. Explorer of the Seas starts a trend where Royal Caribbean ships become only slightly larger than their predecessor. Explorer, while in the same class as Voyager, was 137,308 gross tons when it made its first recognized sailing on the 28th of October in 2000, only 32 gross tons more than Voyager. With renovations adding on to the ships, Explorer is tied with Voyager at 138,194 gross tons, each at number 60 on today's biggest cruise ships. On December 14, 2002, Navigator of the Seas became the third Voyager-class ship in a row to be the largest. At 138,279 gross tons, it is not too much bigger than the older sister ships. The gross tonnage is 139,999 today, making it the 56th biggest as of right now. Mariner of the Seas tied Navigator at 138,279 gross tons after its first recognized sailing on November 16, 2003. Not only was its reign shared, but it was also for under 2 months. Mariner is 139,863 gross tons today. While classified by Wikipedia as an ocean liner, the Queen Mary II does function as a cruise ship. Making its maiden voyage on the 12th of January 2004, the ship is just over 20 years old. It is the most recent non-Royal Caribbean ship to be considered the largest and ranks 39th in size in the world today. The Queen Mary II launched at 148,528 gross tons and is currently at 149,215. Now starts Royal Caribbean's current reign, which will have lasted for 6,446 days by the time Icon comes out. Freedom of the Seas made its maiden voyage on the 4th of June 2006. It started at 154,407 gross tons, but was dry docked in 2015 and added some interior cabins, which grew the total up to 156,271, where it remains today. It is the 33rd largest cruise ship to date. A sister ship to the Freedom, Liberty of the Seas first sailed with passengers on May 19, 2007 at 154,407 gross tons, the same as the first in its class. Since it has been upgraded to 155,889 gross tons. The final Freedom class ship first sailed on May 2, 2008. It was Independence of the Seas, also 154,407 gross tons. 3 ships were simultaneously tied for the largest in the world. Oasis of the Seas was a huge deal when it made its maiden voyage on the 5th of December 2009. She was 225,282 gross tons at launch, 71,000 more than her competition. Although these were all considered megaships at the time they were released, I consider Oasis as the first modern megaship due to how much larger it was than any other ship at the time. Now at 226,838 gross tons, it is the 5th largest in the world. Allure of the Seas tied Oasis of the Seas in gross tonnage at 225,282 gross tons, but was unintentionally made 2 inches longer. But since we're measuring on gross tonnage, we'll keep them tied. This is the last time on this list that there would be 2 ships holding the title at the same time. Allure had its maiden voyage on the 1st of December 2010. Harmony of the Seas was the first of the second pair of Oasis-class ships, and is 226,963 gross tons. It is less than 3 meters shorter than the Icon of the Seas, which makes it the longest cruise ship in service right now, 2 meters longer than Allure. It made its maiden voyage on the 29th of May, 2016. Symphony of the Seas bested the former record holder with a gross ton measurement of 228,081. Its maiden voyage was on the 7th of April, 2018. It was originally going to lose its crown in 2021, but got to hold on for an extra year due to delays after the pandemic. Now, as of today, the biggest cruise ship in service is the Wonder of the Seas, after their maiden voyage on the 4th of March 2022 at 236,857 gross tons. Even after the release of Icon, Wonder will still hold the record for most staterooms aboard a cruise ship with 2,867. But finally, after 5,166 days of dominance, the Oasis class will lose their title. Icon will be 248,663 gross tons. 10% larger than Oasis was during her debut. It will set sail on the 27th of January 2024. Although that is all of the ships with a confirmed gross tonnage, we will not stop there. Star of the Seas, a sister ship to Icon, has their inaugural sailing on August 17th, 2025. With the trends of each ship in the class being larger than the last, I expect Star to be at least the same size, if not larger. Icon 3 is due in 2026, and I would not be surprised if she was even larger than her 2 predecessors. Cruise ships have already been ordered that won't debut until 2028, and none of them from any cruise line will come close to Icon's mark. Regardless of what comes of the 2 sister ships, the Icon class looks to dominate the rest of the 2020s. However, the Icon series ships were originally supposed to be only 200,000 gross tons, so an even larger vessel could be in the works. But that was back in 2016 when that was said, and designing a new ship class takes a long time. And that has every cruise ship since 1962 to be considered the largest. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you think of these giant ships in the comments below. I'll see you next time, and smooth sailing ahead.